Hello everyone. Today I will share with you my opinion about 4 top cryptocurrencies, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple. And also we will add today one currency of your choice, which was Pillar this time. Let me introduce myself very quickly. My name is Paul. I'm creator of rmpforex.com. I'm a forex trader and I like trade currencies. Since 2007, I'm trading currencies using a unique approach that is called Master Forex V Technical Analysis. Obviously, cryptocurrencies are first of all. For those of you who is watching my reviews for the first time, I'll explain you very quickly what is the video about. Each Wednesday, I choose 4 cryptocurrencies that I constantly trade myself intraday, and the currency number 5 is always a pick of the week. And each week, I will choose a different 5th cryptocurrency. So if you want me to review a cryptocurrency that you are interested in, write it down in the comment section below, and next week I will share with you my opinion about that currency. Just before we proceed, make sure you read through the risk disclaimer. It is very important, and let's get straight to the chart. First cryptocurrency is Bitcoin against US dollar. If you will remember my last review, I mentioned this FZR, and I said last time that we broke through this reference point and now Bitcoin is in trend phase down. And also I said that this pivot point is protecting this trend down. And also I said for me as a day trader, this pivot point is important. Let's have a closer look on the subwave. Here you can see that's the pivot point that is protecting the whole trend down, and that pivot is still valid. As long as this pivot is not broken, the trend phase down will proceed. But at the same time, for me now, this reference point is much more important, and I will explain you why. Last time I mentioned this pivot point. Later on during the week, this pivot point moved into here. And as you can see now, this pivot point is broken. And once we broke through this pivot point, the pair came back into a H1 flat face. And I stopped trading this cryptocurrency because it moved back into a flat face of H1. And now I have 2 new reference points, which are these 2. This one is number 1 and this one is the second one. So the logic is the following. Once we break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4 up. And once we break through this reference point, I can start use my trend following trading system and try to get as much as possible from this trend up. On the other side, if we will break through this reference point, the trend down, the all-time trend down will proceed. And this pivot point will move into this place. After this reference point, I can then start using my trend following trading system and try to catch that trend down. But as long as we're between those 2 reference points, Bitcoin will stay in a H1 flat face. For me, the flat face is the most risky place to open some new positions. So that's very quickly about Bitcoin, these 2 reference points. Next pair is Ethereum against US dollar. If you will remember my last review, I mentioned that I'm waiting for this impulse to stop, and now we can see through AO indicator that this impulse is finished now, and now I have 2 new reference points, which is a flat face of all time frames. For me, that range is a bit too big, so I go to a smaller time frame, and here you can see these 2 reference points that I am currently watching. So once we will break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4 up, and then Ethereum will move into a trend phase up, and I can start use my trend following trading and then try to follow this trend. If we will go and break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of all time frames, and then Ethereum will move into a trend phase down, and then I can start use my trend following trading system. For those people who believe in Ethereum and like Ethereum and believe into the future of Ethereum, for them it will be a bad news. But for me as a day trader, it's no difference which way we'll go, as long as we go somewhere and don't stay in a flat phase. For me, flat phase is the most difficult place to trade, or even the place where I never open any positions. And at the moment, Bitcoin is in a flat phase. So I'm just taking a break from trading these currencies. So that's the idea for Ethereum against US dollar. As long as we're between those 2 reference points, this Ethereum will stay in a flat phase. The next currency is Litecoin against US dollar. If you will remember my last review, I mentioned this FZR here, And as you can see, the pivot point that is protecting this trend down is not broken, and the logic is the same. As long as this pivot point is not broken, the trend phase down is still intact. So during my last review, I mentioned this pivot point, and I said that as long as this pivot point is not broken, the H1 trend down will proceed. Later on, this pivot point moved into this place here, and as you can see now, that pivot point now is broken. So now I have, for my day trading, two new reference points, which is H1 flat phase. As long as we're between those two reference points, we will stay in a flat phase of H1. Logic is the same. As you can see, already the third cryptocurrency. All those three cryptocurrencies look pretty much the same. So you can have a feel for the whole cryptocurrency market that at the moment cryptocurrency is in some kind of a flat phase. So once we will break through this reference point, we will have a H4 FZR up, and Litecoin will move into a trend phase up, and then I can start use my trend following. On the other side, once we will break through this reference point, the trend phase will proceed. This pivot point will move into here, and then I can start use my trend following trading system down here as well, and try to get as much as possible from this trend down. As long as we're between those two reference points, the flat phase will proceed. So that's the idea with Litecoin. Let's go next to Ripple against US dollar. Ripple, if you will remember in my last review, I mentioned this FZR, and I also mentioned this pivot point. And I said, as long as this pivot point is not broken, the trend down will proceed. And as you can see, the pivot point is not broken. So again, we have two reference points and a H4 flat phase. As long as we're between those two reference points, we are not going anywhere. Once we break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4, and then I can start use my trend following trading system. Once we will go and break through this reference point, on the other hand, we will have a much higher FZR down, and we will go down with much bigger force. In this case, I will not be very interested to trade this trend. I will just leave this cryptocurrency alone completely. But as long as we're between those two reference points, I'm staying away from Ripple, and we'll just wait until we break through any reference point. Once we break through any reference points, for example, if we'll break through this reference point up, there will be plenty of time for me to open some new buy positions and catch the part of this trend up and earn some money. So that's the idea for Ripple. And now we have a fifth cryptocurrency, which is a pick of the week. And thank you, Jude Myers, for voting for Pillar. So let's take a look at Pillar. Again, Pillar for me shows and confirms my idea that the whole cryptocurrency market is now in a flat phase of H4 or daily time frame. As you can see here, we have two reference points, two global reference points for this cryptocurrency. Once we will break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of all time frames, and Pillar will have a potential to grow to even $5 per pillar. So, but that's for the investors. That's for those who's looking long term. Also, on the other hand, for investors, if we'll break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of all times down, and then it has the chance to go back to $0.3 per pillar. For me as a day trader, these two reference points would be more interesting. This one and that one. If we will break through this reference point, we will have an FZR of H4 time frame, and then I can start use my trend following trading system and try to find some pullbacks and jump into this trend, and maybe even open a buy position here, and then wait until we break through the global and make a global FZR up, and then try to hold that position as long as possible in this trend up. On the other hand, this reference point also is quite interesting here. If we will break through this reference point, we will have quite a big chance to go and break through this reference point. So we'll see what will happen. That's the idea for Pillar at the moment. This is my opinion. And as I said before, if Pillar will go and break through this reference point, we will have a much higher force up. I'll just go to a bigger time frame to show you. Here you can see we will have this kind of FZR up, and Pillar will have all the chances to grow to maybe even $5 per Pillar. So that's the idea about Pillar. Again, guys, I remind you, if you would like me to review cryptocurrency of your choice, make sure you put your vote in the comment section below this video. Just write down your cryptocurrency that you're interested in, and the one cryptocurrency that will collect the most, and the cryptocurrency that will collect the most votes, I will review it next time. This time, I give my own vote to EOS. So we'll see what you will choose for the next time, and that's the idea. Guys, if you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas, feel free to post them in the comment section below. I will be more than glad to have a chat with you. I hope this video will give you some new ideas. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. If you're still not subscribed to this channel, here is the button for you. I invite you to subscribe, and I will talk to you the next Wednesday about cryptocurrency.